Well, before the game, we had requested for Mumbai of old. Well, we got better. We got Mumbai of gold. That's what we've got today. A completely decisive win. Destruction of the opposition. Rajasthan first 90, batted first 90 for the loss of 9 wickets in 20 overs. Mumbai had won the toss and wanted to chase, and boy did they chase. They chased it down in 8.2, got it done even before we could get on air with the Combox, which we do at the end of 10 overs. So this is happening in lieu of the Combox. So this is probably going to be a 5 to 7 minute show, but it's going to be action-packed, a bit like Mumbai's batting. Short, but really explosive. I am Gaurav Kapur. This is Cricbuzz Live in association with our fantasy partner, My 11 Circle. We have Harsha Bhogle and Lisa Sthalekar here. Lisa, we expected them to go hard. Not this much.
No. And you've got to remember, I think the second over was a maiden. So if you get rid of that, like they've actually gone absolutely ballistic. So it is the Mumbai of old. I mean, Rohit Sharma, he was the one that started it off, 14 runs off Mustafa Fazur is over. Ishan Kishan was the one that had the maiden, but I'm so glad to see that, it's worked. He's come up the order and he's repaid them with a half century.
Harsha, were you surprised with the speed at which they kept going?
I was surprised when you said 47, so can I be surprised?
I was saying, one second. I was surprised. They were 56. They went 56 in the ball.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go.
56, even though they lost 2 wickets here.
Yeah, I just thought after Rohit and Surya got out, I thought, look, you can't just go and hit every ball, right? And then the last 10 balls produced 34. I'm sitting in the room, all of us sitting here and chatting, and I've literally come running down the steps. I sort of said, Ishan Kishan, thode 2 ball khel lo, but he didn't listen. Last 10 balls, right. 34 balls. I mean,
also helped along by Sakaria as well, with those no ball after no ball. Yeah, helped along by them. They've got obviously a really big injection in their net run rate as well. But Harsha, really, there's a few other teams that are now, the teams on top, that are looking at Mumbai and saying, wait a second, just wait a second. We don't want the sleeping giant to wake up now, because we know what they do when they get on a roll. They've done this many, many times before.
But the train is leaving the station and Simran is still running behind it.
Ooh, nice. I like it. A Dilwale reference. Yeah. But who's Simran in this? Who's Shahrukh? Who's the train?
No, because Mumbai now have to beat Sunrisers by an even bigger margin or around this kind of margin again. Yeah. And then hope that KKR don't improve their net run rate. They've left it till a little too late. They still got to hope that Rajasthan Royals come back and say, we'll win.
Yeah. But if Rajasthan beats Kolkata, right? If Rajasthan beats this comeback,
they're in.
Then all Mumbai have to do is beat Sunrisers. That's it.
Yeah, that's right. So
all Mumbai have to do is beat Sunrisers.
So the first thing they need to do is, of course, win that next game. We'll get to that in a second. But Lisa, I just want to get your comments on this. The fact that the top 3 teams, and I know it's still an if and a but, and this guy's got to do that thing and that guy's got to do this thing. But if that goes in Mumbai's favor, Mumbai is the kind of team, the minute they have a little bit of luck, a little bit of fortune going in their favor, they juice that lemon to its last drop.
Yeah, just watching that game, I think other teams were going, Mumbai, it'd be great for you just to go off into the sunset, please. Please, you've won enough. Let someone else have a go. But the issue is, they've found a little bit of breath and they're breathing as much as they can in, and they still are there. And look, if you look at the performance that we saw tonight, if you start to get... you've got Ishan going, Rohit looked good. If Surya Kumar Yadav, he's already done all right in the sense, but you can just see that they're just going to start to take off. It might be too late, but you never know.
Well, here's the thing. Yeah. We all love the romance and the stories, right? So what happens in case Mumbai does qualify, right? So what happens then? We obviously all would love a new winner. So if Bangalore, Delhi wins it, great story, new winner, first time winner. If Chennai wins it, then great. Is that the swan song for the great MS Dhoni, right? If Mumbai wins it, there's a hat trick for them. That's history and such a story as well. It's just that with Knight Riders, I'm not finding that angle. I'm not finding that story angle.
Cricbuzz production will be happy. Huh? I think that's the story.
Yeah, that's true, because we've got enough Knight Riders fans over here. All of them are Kolkata fans. So yeah, perhaps they would be happy. But otherwise, yeah. Anyway, I'm just kidding. Knight Riders fans, calm down. Get off the horses. Put the spear down.
There are 3 other teams. Yeah.
Yes.
There's Bangalore, Delhi, and Chennai.
Yeah.
Bangalore, Delhi, Chennai are watching that Kolkata Rajasthan game and are saying, "Go Kolkata, go Kolkata, go, win!" Because they don't want a Mumbai turning the corner to be in the last 4.
Yeah, a resurgent Mumbai.
And this is not to belittle Kolkata, by the way. Yeah, we're not trying to belittle Kolkata.
Yeah,
because Kolkata is a good side. If you qualify, you're a good side. After 14 games, only the best qualify.
Absolutely.
So you're not belittling them.
But it's about the sleeping giant waking up. Yeah, we're talking about Mumbai being a sleeping giant that wakes up. You don't want that sleeping giant to wake up.
And you don't know Lockie Ferguson, you don't know Andre Russell. Right?
Correct. Yeah.
You don't know what their status for the rest of the tournament is. Will New Zealand, for example, say, sorry, we don't want you to, we are pulling out Lockie Ferguson. Suppose, I'm just thinking aloud. Then suddenly Kolkata, without Ferguson, without Russell, you don't mind. I mean, in that situation, anything can happen, but you much rather be playing Kolkata than playing Mumbai if they continue playing like this.
This could happen though, Lisa. This is a real thing that as you go into, see, we've already had one. Chris Gale left because said, I've had enough of bio bubbles. I just want to take a breath of fresh air and do his little yacht and cigar lifestyle in Dubai before he goes into his next. And, you can't blame him.
How do you know that's what he's doing? He might be,
I hope he is.
Meditating. He might be meditating.
That's his meditation.
A yoga retreat. I don't know.
On a yacht. He's the universe boss.
You've nailed it. You're right.
Yeah, let's not push it. He's the universe boss. Yeah. Come on. But could it happen, Lisa? Though, could some of the other teams in England, and New Zealand, could they say, wait? This World Cup's a week away. We want our guys back. I'm sure that's been stitched up.
Well, Sam Curran's been the latest one to kind of go. Back injury. He's out of the T20 World Cup. So if there are any niggles, anything, I saw Pinky. I would imagine that the team officials and everyone will start to go, look, I don't think you should play. But then there's an IPL trophy on the line. There's a big IPL auction coming up. Like, what do you do? This is the hard thing.
These are the physios are in touch with each other. The national team physios are always in touch with the franchise team physios, and they are sort of monitoring where the player stands. And if the national team physio says, you know what, I think that strain, that side strain or whatever, that strain requires him to rest, then I think there is an understanding, unstated, that we will do that, especially with the T20 World Cup round the corner.
I've seen that. I've seen that personally. We've seen Delhi do that with Rabada. If you remember, that was 2 seasons ago. Delhi did that with Rabada. South Africa wanted to pull Rabada out. Delhi made it to the playoffs. And of course, they're all on the same side. They're all there for the players' welfare. And ultimately, if a player says they want to go one way, they know what's good for them in the long run as well. So I think everybody can just...
And nobody will jeopardize a player's career on a big day by making him play if he's not ready. I mean, nobody does that. Our game has not become that cruel yet.
Yeah, and I just think that a lot of times the IPL, I think a lot of times the IPL teams, etc., managements get this bad rap for this, that
pushing players
so hungry.
Yeah,
but I don't think any of them do. I don't think anybody pushes a player against the player's will. Players all want to be pushed, of course, for performing, but nobody against their will. Well, Ishan Kishan, they pushed him out of the team, and that perhaps pushed him to kind of wake up, and he did. Boy, did he wake up. Look at him today, coming out to open. Big shoes to fill. Quinny de Kock, who's kind of been, one of those first names that you write down with this team. Rohit really likes opening with him. De Kock sits out. Ishan comes in, attacks from the word go. This pitch didn't seem to be that much trouble in the second half.
I think little difference there without trying to say, our boy's better. I think the Indian batsman might be a little more used to playing in these conditions than, say, a South African or an Aussie batsman who are more used to the ball coming on. So the Indian batsman probably sitting back and knowing what kind of shots to play in these conditions. That could be one factor. But there is something about this kid. The reason everybody talks Ishan Kishan up and will stay with him through a patch is when he gets it right, he will do this. And there's not too many batsmen you can say that about, that when they get it right, this is how right they will get it. 50 of 25 is made a mockery of everything else that's gone before. And that is why everybody wants him in the side. He'll open, he'll bat 3, he'll bat 4, he'll keep wickets. It's a fantastic combination to possess. So, I mean, he's a player.
Mumbai fans are happy, Lisa. India fans are happy to see this because it was becoming a bit of a cause for worry that hadn't seen some flourish from Rohit. What happened to Surya? What happened to Ishan? Because the India top 4 or 5 has many from Mumbai. Today, I think all of them showed different levels, but glimpses of touch, good touch.
Yeah, and the bowlers gave them the opportunity. I really do think that. The fact that, you can go in knowing you're only chasing a very below par score. Like I said, it gave Ishan Kishan a chance to have a maiden the second over. He didn't have to go from ball 1. So the fact that it's allowed them just to sit and settle, read the conditions, and then quickly adapt. That's exactly what you do. Not many players can go from ball 1. I mean, there are very few players, so maybe it's taught them a little bit as well. Just give yourself extra 2 to 3 deliveries, and then once you've picked up the pace and the bounce, you can go hell for leather, which is what Ishan Kishan did.
50 of 25, and he's played a maiden over.
Yeah. Wow. He really went hammer and tongs after the Rajasthan bowlers. And let's have a look at what their analysis looked like. It's, of course, not pretty reading. It's just not a good day for Rajasthan at all, with bat or with ball. Look at them. They've almost gone close to 10s. That'll happen if you get your target of 91 in the 9th over. The Fizz going for 32 in his 2.2. Sakaria, that his third over was 23 runs, was it? 36, 36 for 1 wicket. Then Shreyas Gopal bowled the 1 over, had the good chance. I think that was the only chance created, wasn't it? Harsha, that was the only chance that got created. Shreyas Gopal gets Rohit. He's out of the crease. Sanju Samson doesn't collect. It's rare that happens, but that perhaps was a chance. Yeah.
Look, I've not been a wicketkeeper at any level, but sometimes, and I saw that when I was fielding, sometimes or if you're trying to run a batsman out, you start the process of running the batsman out before you got the ball in your hand. And I think he was trying to stump him, and the ball had not yet got to his hand. That was my reading, because he's a good keeper. So maybe just a right, but the ball wasn't in his hands. I don't know. That's just my reading, because it was too simple to miss otherwise.
But you feel for Shreyas Gopal.
He's not agreeing. The Hoffer's not agreeing. Sorry.
The Hoffer's not agreeing.
I didn't say anything. I smiled.
She's
She just had this indulgent smile, saying, "Okay, let him put his theories forward."
She is not letting the wicket keepers off the hook that easy. Yes?
I think from what I saw, the ball scooted a little bit more. So I think he wasn't low enough. And we saw even in the first innings, a lot of the dismissals were guys going across the line, and it was skidding a little bit more. So that's what we love about turf pitches. We think it's all, people assume it's going to be the same as the last time you were there. Not necessarily.
Yeah, definitely not. Would have been a good story for Shreyas Gopal. Comes back into the team, first over, gets Rohit Sharma out, but that's the time when luck has to go your way, and actually nothing went Rajasthan's way today. Okay, before we wind this up, let's have a look at the points table once again and see what are the implications for Rajasthan now. Rajasthan obviously cannot qualify now. They can't qualify. But what they need to do is...
They've got a decimal Boeing in their net run rate.
Oh, yeah, 737. But it's a grounded 737, you mean?
Yes, sadly.
Yeah,
sadly.
That was not taking flight anytime soon. So now they play against Kolkata. That's the one game left for both Calcutta and Rajasthan. So they really can ruin the party for Calcutta.
Yes.
They can finish big for themselves. They can ruin the party for them. And of course, then that means that Mumbai has it in their hands, because Mumbai is playing on the last day, right? Mumbai plays on the last day.
Yes. But
which
guess
means
where the
then
KKR...
we go to the last day.
Yeah. Sorry, guess where the KKR Rajasthan Royals match is? In Sharjah.
Oh, interesting.
A twist in the tale, perhaps, kind sir.
The plot thickens.
The plot thickens. Love it. All right. There's some great comments that are coming in on the Cricbuzz app for Ishan Kishan. And I would read them out, but just don't know how to read. So if any of you can send doodles or caricatures, that would be great.
Emojis? We only work in emojis.
They work in emojis. All right. So he says that he had a chat with Virat and a chat with Kevin Peterson. Does he mean Kieran Pollard? Sorry, KP, Kieran Pollard. That's the wrong
Yes.
KP. So he said I had a chat with Virat and Pollard. He says I also watched videos. So I'm scrolling as we go. And he says those are the kind of things that I was doing when I was not part of the 11. So obviously that has helped him and got confidence from watching those videos. So yeah, well done, young lad.
There's an old
That's what you
saying
do.
in the game. Yeah, there's an old saying in the game. Good players don't become bad overnight.
Yeah.
They just get a little derailed. They've just got to come back to what made them good in the first place. And Lisa might know better. Most often that's in the mind, I think, rather than in technique or feed. There might be a little twist here and there. Maybe you're falling over. Maybe your foot is not coming right out. Those are little things that players at this level should be able to fix. Most often, it's confidence. It's in the mind. I think so, Lisa.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And what I used to do actually before big games was go back to footage against that opposition that I'd been really successful and just watch it. And it's almost like you're imprinting in your mind, today's going to be a successful day. And that's why he probably needed to have a break. It's just a circuit breaker. Otherwise, the pressure keeps building. And he just needed to break that circuit, look at some good footage, come back fresh, bang.
You know what's common between Lisa Sthalekar and Kieran Pollard?
No.
They say exactly the same things. Kieran Pollard said to him,
Wow.
keep things simple, bat the way you used to, watch videos of what you did last season. He said, I watched videos of my batting and that gave me confidence.
And you've been writing his media interactions.
Yes. And I'll be tweeting later
As him?
as him. Yeah.
From his angle. And this is what Rohit Sharma said. He said we'd come here to do what we had to do, get these 2 points. And once we had them at 90, we had a chance to finish it early. Important to seize the game. We had to come out and bat freely. We had a chance to get the run rate in order, which they have. They've given a big booster shot to that for themselves today. It was a perfect game for us. Absolutely right. He's playing after a couple of games. Ishan, I was there to take the risk. We know Ishan's ability. We wanted him to spend some time, and that's what he did. If Jimmy wants to do another one, I will be happy. He's a solid guy and keeps the atmosphere buzzing. Excellent. Also says
what
all the
Sanju
bowlers
says.
came together and did it for us. I feel this tournament, any team, and if Knight Riders playing before us, and we will know exactly what to do. That's interesting because the Knight Riders play on the 7th and Mumbai plays on the 8th. So if the Rajasthan team can stop Calcutta on the 7th, then, well, it's in Mumbai's hands on the 8th. The last game.
It is.
Their hands.
Look what Sanju Samson says. He says, coming from Abu Dhabi to Sharjah, from a very good batting wicket to Sharjah, was an adjustment that we had to make very quickly. So I'm going back to see where did KKR play their last game, and they played their last game in Dubai, which was sort of Sunrisers 115 and KKR getting it in 20. So it won't be that different. So it's not that they're suddenly coming from a 180 game to play on a.
They got a big
track.
break.
They'll have changed.
They got a big break.
Yeah,
though.
they'll have
They
changed
got a
the
big
surface.
break. Yeah, they've got a big
True,
break
but
though. I mean, it's almost 6 days between Knight Riders games. Yeah, 6 days. So they've got a
Too
big
much
break.
time to think.
Yeah, sometimes can be a problem. Sometimes can be a problem. All right, let's have a look at the game that's happening tomorrow and see what the significance would be to this points table, to the league stage. Well, it is for one team. It is for Bangalore for sure. Bangalore's wanting to make a go for those top 2 spots. For Hyderabad, well, this party finished a long time ago. I think their parents came and picked them up and they're back home in bed now. But
दुकान बंद कर दिया ईरानी होटल चाय की रेस्टोरेंट भी बंद हो गई सब बंद पूरे खाली हो गए घर जाओ बोल दिए.
That's right. He's saying it's past closing hours. I'll translate.
Thank you. Thanks.
I'll translate Hyderabadi to Azzy for you.
Thanks, mate.
Azzy?
Good on ya.
Get on ya, mate. Fair dinkum.
Isn't the spelling of good on you Gujonya? Isn't the spelling of good on you Gujonya?
Like a
Gujonya.
Dutch surname. Like a Dutch surname. It's like,
Gujonya.
well, Bangalore is definitely wanting to threaten Chennai for that 1 or 2 spot. We just see the points table, just see the top 2. Now, Delhi can't be caught, right? So Delhi definitely has a top 2 finish guaranteed because of that net run rate. So Bangalore can't catch them. Bangalore can definitely catch and go over Chennai in points. So tomorrow they need this. Remember, they've got 1 game in hand from Chennai. So if they win tomorrow against Hyderabad, they are neck and neck. So then Chennai's last game becomes very important for them to finish 1 or 2. So that's why Delhi now can actually sit pretty for their remainder game. They won't, but they can. But Chennai definitely, Lisa, is looking at tomorrow's game and seeing Bangalore come up in that rearview mirror.
Yeah, you want to be in the top 2, don't you? You want 2 bites of the cherry. I think that's really important. Just gives you a bit of breathing room and not too many.
No, sorry. We have to stop you here because this is a discussion the 2 of us had with Michael Vaughan yesterday. We were trying to decode what this phrase means, 2 bites of the cherry, because Michael said, I don't even have 1 bite. We just go like this. I was like, where is this plum-like cherry that needs 2 bites to finish? Does that happen in Australia?
2 bites because you've got to get the pip out. If you just throw it in, so you bite one side and then you kind of get the pip. How does that sound? Is that pretty good for 4 a.m.?
That sounds like a Hoffer talking about running a grocery.
Come on, 4 a.m. Give me a break, guys. Come on.
I'm just saying. It's a very good attempt for 4 a.m., but it's a hard sell for us because we're at 10:45 and 9:15 p.m.
Oh well,
it's a very hard sell, but we appreciate the effort. So we'll just say we'll get 2 goes. We'll come back to the show because today's been one of those random days, so we love it. But yes, we'll come back to it. They get 2 turns to go to the final.
2 opportunities.
2 opportunities to go to the final. Yes.
Okay.
So they're all looking for
self.
it. No cherries here.
$2 at the postman. They get $2 at the postman.
They get 2 shakes of a duck's tail.
Oh no. Okay, boys, come on. Let's go. Come on. Let's get these graphics up. Come on.
It's 2.
Let's put that point
2
table
for
up.
Tuesday. 2 for Tuesday. It's 2 for 22. That's Australian. That's Australian. It's 2 for
Richie
22.
Benno.
It is.
Richie Benno.
Yeah.
Okay, we've got the points table. So you can talk about cherries and plums while we look at the points table. Now,
oh yeah, good student. Look at him trying to be the good student. Well done.
Bangalore have 2 games to play. They win that next one. They're on 18.
Yeah.
Now, even if Chennai win their game, I think that they're guaranteed 1 and 2 again because of net run rate. So even if Bangalore win both their games, it doesn't matter because if Chennai win their next game, they're guaranteed 1 and 2.
True, but
only if they lose the last one.
Yeah.
Chennai.
Who's Chennai playing last? Who's their game? Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the schedule. Chennai playing Punjab.
Chennai playing Punjab, yes. That's not fair. Your producer sitting under the table, he told you.
Yeah, no, I got the Cricbuzz app open here today. I got it on my tablet. I won't say which one because no free publicity. But we got Chennai playing Punjab in the last game. And for Bangalore to get to 20 points, they've got to beat Hyderabad tomorrow and Delhi in the last game. So that's interesting. What do you call it?
It doesn't matter. If Chennai win, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
But gut feel, who's it going to be? So 1 spot's Delhi, the top 2, the other spot, Chennai or Bangalore. Come on.
I don't see Chennai losing. Yeah.
Chennai? Both. All right, excellent. Well, let's talk about the Bangalore team for tomorrow. Any changes you see happening? These guys seem to be on a roll. They seem to be going all right. Lisa, do you see any changes? Because they've done a few and they've experimented.
Yeah.
And they come here.
I mean, the one that hasn't fired and they've tried to get him going is Dan Christian. I mean, his experience of winning T20 titles around the world is phenomenal. They tried to bat him at 3 the last game. Would he get a golden duck? It just hasn't worked. So, just trying to think. Yeah, maybe.
Or Kyle Jamieson.
Maybe Kyle.
You go quick.
Where are they playing again?
Abu Dhabi.
They're playing in Abu Dhabi.
I don't know. That's your home
Good
ground,
service.
Harsha. What do you think?
No, they could, because they've got George Garton back into the side. And
Who's
Garton
good,
can
yeah.
bat a little bit too. Shabazz can bat a little bit too. And of course, Jameson, if he's coming in at 8, is a perfectly capable number 8 batsman.
Oh, yeah.
So they might just want to see, okay, let's take a look at Jameson before. Let's not make a Morris out of Jameson. Let's try him out once more and see what happens. So it could be a possibility. But as Lisa said, Dan Christian has played in so many end of stage matches, big games, final games. He's won so many across the world that they might just say, you know what, let's stay with him. We need only 2 overs from him. Let's get these 2 overs out of Dan Christian somewhere, but he's explosive at the end. I have a feeling about Bangalore. I just think Bangalore, when it comes to the late stage, they've got so many match winners that when you get to the final, that's when the match winners count. Final stages.
Interesting.
Well,
Will they make... Sorry, Lisa.
I was going to say we haven't seen the best of AB, have we yet?
Correct.
Not this leg. Like, we're just waiting. We're waiting for him to explode. The other thing, just to, quickly about Dan Christian, we don't know what he's like around the group. If he's passing on information, key bits of pieces that he's picking up. So, that might come into it as well as in your selection. It looks like the coaching staff want to try and keep the same group. They haven't tried to make too many changes, a little bit like Chennai do.
Let's have a
Since you
look.
mentioned AB, Gaurav, last one before we let you speak for a while.
I don't mind at all.
Whack!
Since you mentioned AB has not got runs, I just remembered Owen Morgan's line the other day. He said, the further you are from having scored runs, the closer you are to scoring them.
Yeah. Yep.
That assumes, of course, that you're good enough to turn the tide and come back and score runs, because there's some people whose career just go boop, 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 boop. Oh, sorry, I got drowned. I didn't get out of the lake. So
It also sounds like something somebody out of form would say.
To keep everyone at
someone
bay.
saying, I back
it does.
myself.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of 50-50 about kind of going with that. Let's see. Anyway, we've got a team up next, which would take 50-50. They would happily take 50-50 because it's really been traffic coming at them this entire season.
Yes.
It's been one that they really want to forget. I just want to get your opinion, Lisa, about watching David Warner sitting there, not even in the dugout, waving a flag. And it's just, I don't know. There's just something about that just stinks.
Yeah, it's actually really heartbreaking when you think of the fact that David Warner has produced so much for that franchise, has led them to so many finals, obviously a title victory in 2016. I don't know what's gone on behind, but it has to be massive for them to be treating him like this, because it doesn't sit well with me, regardless of potentially what he's done. And I don't know what's going on. So, but I hate it. To be honest, I hate it.
Harsha, we've seen
Could not
enough
agree more
senior
with
players.
Lisa.
We've seen enough
Could not
senior
agree more.
players dropped. They're sitting in the dugout. They're part of the setup. This almost seems like it's the family member that you're estranged from, who's just, you sit in the outside room, right? He's not even, you can tell that he's not even part of team meetings anymore. I think you've probably left the WhatsApp group as well.
Yeah.
No, it's like you invite that cousin who's really not part of the family, but there's a wedding in the family, so you've got to invite that person, and that person comes in, but is sitting all by himself on a chair somewhere, It's a bit like that. I agree completely with Lisa, because it has to be something that's happened off the field, because if it is something that's happened on the field, he's far, far too good. In my book, the finest opening batsman that's played this tournament. In the history of the tournament, the finest opening batsman, year upon year, 700, 800, 600 runs. You give a player of that quality a chance to come back and win you a game. If you're not doing that, then we don't know what's happened. Because Trevor Bayliss is a very good coach. Tom Moody's done fantastic for that franchise over the years. They're not idiots. They're not going to say, no, you go away. I mean, if we can see it, they see it even better. So there must have something something has happened. We don't know what that is, but you don't. A player like David Warner, you just pick him back. So unless he has become what do the English call unselectable?
Unselectable. We've heard that from England. Yes.
Yeah.
Unselectable.
So, with something like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But what does it mean for Australia? I mean, can you imagine Australia's number one opening batsman is going in without a hit in the tournament?
Yeah, not the ideal preparation, is it? So
I'm surprised
those practice
that,
matches are going to be crucial.
Yeah. I'm surprised that, I mean, I don't know if the rest of the Australia squad is already in you. I'm guessing they'd be around there now with all the quarantine. And the bio bubble,
I think they leave tomorrow, actually.
I'd be really surprised. What is it? They have one game left, right? Yeah. They have one game left.
Two.
Yeah. I mean, after tomorrow, they have one game left on the 8th.
Yeah, correct. Against
Correct?
Mumbai.
So they have one game left on the 8th. I'm wagering that you're not going to see him on the sidelines and that. You're not going to see him in the stands there. He's going to join the Aussie squad, I think, from the moment they land. And I think that would only be right for a player.
But they'll be in quarantine, Gaurav, for 6 days. So he won't be around them. You know what I would like? Almost, I get a sense that they're not going to keep him for next IPL. So let him play the last game. And because how many Hyderabad fans have they lost because of how they've treated him? I don't know. I actually don't know the answer.
Yeah.
So I think...
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah,
A farewell.
Sound a little note of caution. I think we need to be. This is all conjecture from our side. We're looking at it from the outside. We don't know what's the situation on the inside because, as I said, these are two very good coaches. If they're not picking him, there must be a very strong reason for not picking David Warner. So we don't know what has happened, but I would very much like, because he has been the talisman for that franchise. They call him, they've given him nicknames, he's made friends over there, he grooves to Telugu music. I mean, that's not connected with Warner, the batsman, but it just shows how much they've accepted Warner, the person. He said that soon after the sandpaper gate and all that, and he said, I found another home in Hyderabad and I'm grateful to them. They allowed me to come back in, find my feet. So everything right. So I don't know what's happened, but yeah, it'll be nice. If they're not going to retain him, say, here's Warner saying thank you to the franchise because he's been outstanding for them.
Yeah, he really has been. So yeah, Harsha's right. We don't know what has happened, but from whatever we see, it just seems a little odd and just doesn't sit right. All right. Do you see any changes happening in the team? It seems like they've kind of found this balance of youth, but do you think there's any players there they'd like to try? They'd pretty much try everyone.
Who wants to have a go?
Yeah, who wants to have a go at this?
There's nothing to be gained by going back to Manish Pandey or Kedar Jadhav. There's nothing to be gained by going back to them. Because they're not going to retain Manish Pandey, they're not going to retain Kedar Jadhav. There's no point going back to one of those. So they might as well say, okay, Siddharth Kaul's looking good. I really do want them to play Umran Malik.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes the speed gun can get a little bit on steroids. You look at the speed gun and say, oh, was that really 145? With Umran Malik, what happened was we saw it in real time. And we said, this guy's quick. And then looked at the speed gun and saw what it was saying. So the eye was telling you he was seriously quick. So I really hope they want to play Umran Malik again. So I think they'll look at things like that. They'll give Abdul Samad a couple more chances. They'll give Umran Malik a couple more chances. I think that's the way they'll play.
Okay, well, that's what it looks like for tomorrow's game. We, of course, will be here at 6:50 p.m. Indian Standard Time to talk about that and discuss that game. You can also make your team on my11circle.com. That's the website you go to and download the My11Circle app. After that, you choose the game tomorrow, which is Bangalore v Hyderabad, and pick 11 players from that. And in case you win, your first prize is 1 crore. So yeah, it's a big one there. Okay, that's all we have time for. We just have one last piece of business, which is the joy factor question and answer. We all tried to attempt. We tried our guesses.
Got it wrong.
Any of us got it right.
Desperately wrong.
We did. We know the answer now. Yeah.
All those clues I gave you were decoys.
Yeah, they were. They were. He was the highest wicket taker in a specific tournament final. His last T20 match was against Arunachal Pradesh in 2019, in which he took 3 wickets. Identify this cricketer. The answer is... Boom! Come on. Karanveer Singh, Punjab 2015. Not even close. None of us.
No, he was that little leggy. He was that leggy,
The little leggy.
At a time when...
That's a good nickname.
Not little.
It's kind of a mafia nickname.
But, he wasn't like this huge turner of the ball. He was just, tung,
Yeah. It's like the Godfather says, we got to knock them off, call the little leggy.
Say that again. That was really good. Say that again.
Yeah,
What?
I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. Call the little leggy.
The only good thing that's happened at the end of this match, only good thing happened at the end of this match is Lisa stopped brandishing her knife.
Yeah, it's never too late. Oh,
I can get it if you want.
She lost it.
Yeah.
She
Can you
had
imagine?
to-
Can you imagine
she
Gaurav
had to
looking
throw
and
it into
saying,
the river.
you do whatever we call Lisa with the knife. Just say that.
Yeah. I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. Little leggy. Well, let's call her you little leggy, even though you're not, right?
Little Luffy. Little Luffy.
Little Luffy. We call little Luffy. Little Luffy. Just off him. Off him. Off him.
All
Little
right.
Luffy, off him.
We get
You were
the
talking- Yeah, you were talking about, by the way, I must say, you were saying something about leftover in the mid-show, and I realized that all of Rajasthan's bowlers, most of Rajasthan bowlers are left over. I mean, left arm over the wicket. Most of them are. Think about it. Rajasthan's got a lot of left arm. Nobody cares right now. Let's have a look at who got the correct answer in. There was one person who was faster than everyone else. The man, Manan Mehta. Well done. Manan the man. This is the second time.
Cricket_Nuffy. Perfect
Nuffy.
Twitter handle.
Nuffy said. Nuffy said, well done. That's the second time that Manan has won, so congratulations to you. All right, that's all we have time for. Lisa, it's probably time for your wake-up call right now. So, yeah.
Yep.
It's at
About to
5
have
a.m.
breakfast. Yeah, breakfast.
Where's
No,
your cereal?
4:30.
You have some cereal next to you?
I've got some muesli in there. Don't worry.
There is a
And
time, though,
chocolate
last
mousse
year.
and loads of
There was
chocolate
a-
mousse, yeah.
I'll tell you something, Harsha. There was a time last year with one of the games which had 2 super overs.
Yeah.
Lisa went for breakfast right after that.
It was 6:30. 6:30 a.m. I got it. That double super.
I'll tell you
over.
what else. Last year, in the initial stage of the tournament, Lisa was here with us in Abu Dhabi. And every time you saw Lisa, I don't know if the hotel staff did that or people did that as a prank. Every time you saw Lisa, there were 5 lemon tarts or 4 chocolate mousses all around her. So
Chocolate mousse is to die for there.
Little Lisa likes the chocolate mousse.
Oh, God.
All right,
ready to go
we're going to
off.
go before we go completely crazy. Thank you to Lisa and Harsha. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Gaurav Kapur. You were watching Cricbuzz Live in association with our fantasy partner, My 11 Circle. We'll see you tomorrow at 6:50 p.m. IST. Thank you so much for watching. Good night.